Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to look at a service call that I did over the phone for a friend of mine. She called me up, said, hey, my outside unit, the fan is running, but something's making a strange noise. And so she went and got a meter from Home Depot. I think she paid $30 for it. And she followed some videos that I sent her, and she was able to figure out that it was actually her hard start kit that was messing up. And so she went to a local supply house, spent I think $40 on it, put it on herself, just following my videos, and I'd say she saved at least $300. Hope this helps somebody, and like and subscribe if you like it. Leave a comment if you want to see something else. Still top to bottom, except now you can hear the meter ringing, and I've got a little resistance. Okay, now when you go back to this side, it'd be easier if you had two people, but I know how to do this real easy. I'm just going to push that button in, make sure it works. Okay, now you hear the meter, you see the same resistance. That contactor's good. On your capacitor, you only have two spots where wires are going in. This one has three, but it's better that yours only has two spots because we're going to check across those two terminals. So you're going to take the screw off right here, and we're going to pull this out. You're going to write down which color wire goes to which part of the capacitor. Okay, you need to make sure you write down which color wire goes to which one. So I'm going to get a piece of paper. I'm going to look at the top, and this one says HERM. This one says fan. This one over here has a C for common. So on HERM, you might just put a marking on here somehow, however you want to do it. But on HERM, I'm going to put two orange wires. On common, I'm going to put red and purple. Okay, and then I'm going to disconnect these wires. With the wires disconnected, for your compressor, you're looking for this number right here. Mine is a 40 UF. Yours is probably going to be different. That's the number you want. You're going to change your meter to this symbol. Okay. Then you're going to take the ends of your meter, and you're going to go where they were plugged in together, just like that. You might have to move them around and scratch them if they're kind of rusty. And your meter should look like this. Mine was a 40 microfarad. This is 38.5, so this one's good. All right. Remember, your breaker should be off at all times during this. And then you're also going to want to do the same thing with this thing. This is a hard start capacitor. You want to check it the same way. And you are looking at this number right here. Your number, when you check it, should fall somewhere in there. Because your meter was reading 20 microfarads, this capacitor is bad. So it's going to be your hard start capacitor. Now, while we're here, we need to check the compressor to make sure there's no damage to it. Here's how we're going to do that. Okay. If you look down inside of the unit, you'll see the compressor, that red thing down there, and you can see some wires coming out of it. Those wires go to the top of the unit. All right, they're coming through up here. There are 3 large wires and 3 small wires. The small wires are to your fan. We'll check that in another video. But the large wires are what we want to look at. So I see my orange wire goes to my capacitor. I'm going to write which black circle it is connected to. Okay, I'm going to write that down somewhere so I can remember. The next large wire goes right here to the contactor. I'm going to get a screwdriver. We're going to unscrew that. And then the final wire comes to the other side of the contactor. We're going to get a screwdriver, unscrew that. Make sure that you write this down somewhere or take a picture that's good enough you can remember where to plug these in. So let's do it now. All right, we got the 3 larger wires unplugged. The whole time we're doing this, your disconnect should be off. so you don't get electrocuted or anything. Okay, on your meter, you're going to find the horseshoe, which is your ohms or resistance. All right, I'm going to select that one. Now, without the leads touching, my meter reads OL, which means it's open. That's a bad thing. If we see that, that's a very bad thing on our compressor. Okay, make sure that the metal on these wires are not touching anything metal, and they're not touching each other when we do this, so we get a good reading. All right, I'm simply going to take my leads. I'm going to put one here, and I'm going to put one there, so I'm going orange to black first, and we're going to get a reading on our meter. Okay, 4.4 ohms. Oh, it happened when I moved my meter. So now we are black to orange. Now we want to go black to red. We'll go black to red. 5 ohms, good. And now I'm going to do the third combination, which is for me black to orange. I'm sorry, red to orange. 6.7. That's good. Now the other thing you want to check here is to make sure it's not grounded. So let's look at that. My meter's still on the horseshoe. I want to go from each wire to a shiny piece of metal on my unit. Doesn't matter if it's copper. I'm going to use this part right here. Okay. Make sure your other wires that are unplugged are not touching anything metal. Okay. That's good. OL means it's open. Okay, so now I'm going to check the next wire, which for me is orange. Make sure nothing's touching metal. With the other lead, I'm going to touch the metal. Open. Okay, good. And the final one for me is black and blue. I'm going to touch the metal. Open. That's good. Now, if you see... Let's see if I can make one ground. Okay, I'm touching the metal and my other lead to metal. And I have resistance to that metal. That means a grounded compressor. Hope this helps. Like and subscribe.